Memorials. Why are they significant? It's because they remind us of something that's important. In Joshua chapter 4, the Lord says to Joshua, "Take 12 men from the people, from each tribe a man, and command them, saying, Take 12 stones from here out of the midst of the Jordan River, from the very place where the priest's feet stood firmly, and bring them over with you. Lay them down in the place where you lodge tonight." And the statement's made down in verse number 6. "When your children ask in time to come, What do these stones mean to you? Then you shall tell them that the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. When it passed over the Jordan, the waters of Jordan were cut off. So these stones shall be a reminder to the people, a memorial forever." Verse number 8, the people of Israel did just as Joshua commanded and took up 12 stones out of the midst of the Jordan. A reminder of God's power, a reminder of God's promise, a reminder of God's provision, a reminder of God's plan, a reminder. And that's the reason we have things in our culture that remind us of certain things, even though those things have been torn down in many places. It doesn't make any sense. How do you alter the understanding of a nation? You remove those items from a culture that remind them of their past. You raise up a generation that has no clue of what's happened before. That's happening around us in our culture. And it is going to wreak havoc on what happens with generations yet to come. It was amazing for me to watch a video of a statue of Abraham Lincoln being torn down and the cheering of the crowd. And you wonder, do they remember what was involved during the presidency of Abraham Lincoln? Did they know anything about history at all? Unfortunately, I think if we're not careful, raising a generation that have no kind of knowledge whatsoever of the past and are doomed to succumb to whatever thought may be implanted that goes totally against those who have given everything in their life to bring this nation to where it is today. Doesn't mean we're perfect, but it does mean that we need to remember the past. Those who do not remember the past, those who do not remember history, really are doomed to repeat it. And it's interesting that in this particular passage, the statement is made, we want the younger generation to ask questions. Why is that memorial here? Why do these stones exist where they are? Why were they taken out of the Jordan River? Why are they placed here as something that seems to be of significance? Because they are significant. They remind a nation yet unborn at this point in time in Joshua that God's power was very much with those Israelites as long as they were doing what God intended for them to do. Every time we gather together as a spiritual family on the first day of the week, it's a memorial. A memorial that Jesus instituted in that Last Supper, the communion, the Lord's Supper. A memorial that causes us to reflect upon the pain he suffered when he died on the cross. The blood that trickled down from that cross, the body that hung on that cross, and recognize it's because of what we needed that we could not do ourselves. Because it was the atrocity of sin that we've committed against the God of heaven and earth. That Jesus, the unbegotten Son of God, actually emptied himself of that eternal existence, was born into this world and lived as a man, and died the most excruciating death that humanity's ever devised. There are individuals that could languish for days on the crucified, in a crucified state. Jesus just lasted for hours. He was beaten almost to the point of death before he even made to carry that cross. His back, the skin and the muscles hanging in shreds as he struggles for every breath he takes once they nail him to the cross. Why would any child of God not avail themselves of the opportunity, together with the saints on the first day of the week, to remember in that memorial feast the sacrifice of Jesus and the love of Jesus, the love of God that's seen in that sacrifice, and then think about that resurrection of Jesus from the dead that gives us hope. Memorial Day for this nation comes once a year. Memorial Day for the child of God comes every time we're together on the first day of the week. A great way to start the week, each week. Sober thought that our sins cost the life of the very Son of God. Please stay safe. We'll see you Sunday. And we'll talk again soon.